Hey guys, welcome back again to another new video. So today we want to talk about the dark side of living abroad that many people don't tell you. Sometimes, like I think I did this video sometimes back, but I don't think it reached a lot of people. But anyway, I want to talk about the dark side of living abroad, the challenges like that we African face here in Germany. So if you are there in Africa, you want to come to Europe or America or wherever you want to go to, kindly stay tuned and listen to this video because there's some important things you don't know. And when you have high expectation, you might come here and be very much disappointed. So stay tuned and enjoy this video. Number one is loneliness. Why? Nakwambia huku Germany. Here in Germany, life can be so boring. You can be so lonely, you know. Let me guys tell you the truth, the reason why I had my son. I stayed here in Germany until 2019. That was almost like 9 years being in Germany. I was really bored. I was just going to work, come back home, going to work, come back home. My life was so boring. That's why I decided I need a child. And then I got my child. But even if you got your child, life, you feel this loneliness if it's still there. You know, my child is still with me, but I'm still lonely. Sometimes I just wish to buy a ticket and go back to Africa where life is jovial, where life is full. In Africa, you know, life is full of life, let me say that. But here in Europe, loneliness is too much. And that's going to kill you. Then this loneliness, it hits harder if it's on a public holiday, when things are closed, or on a Sunday. Hey, you know, it's too quiet, it's too boring. Your neighbors, when you look at their neighbors, maybe they're old people, you cannot even go out and talk with them. And you all know your friends also, maybe they have their own program. You call someone, you call your friend on the phone like yesterday, the friend will not even respond after 2 days calling you back to know what you wanted. You know, you can even die and nobody cares about you. Like life is too boring. Loneliness is too high here in Europe. Our next point is lack of family support. Sometimes, you know, you are being sent to Europe to come and invest, to come and help the other people who are back at home in Kenya. Normally it's like that. So as far as you're here in Germany, you'll be the one who'll be sending money home. You'll be the one catering for this problem to another problem. If anything happens, they don't care if you have money or not. Like 99% of people, they can say I'm saying the truth. No matter what you're going through, people in Africa, they don't care. They always wait for your support. Anytime they know you must support them. And this is something that is taking many people to depression. Because sometimes you're suffering here alone with your bills and there is nobody to help you. Even if you send someone, oh, can you please send me money from Kenya to Europe? Do you think someone will send you that money? They don't send you. They think you in Europe, you must have that money. And that is something that is very, very bad for us. So nobody cares about your problem in Africa. Nobody cares what you're going through. Nobody cares how many bills you have, you know. So the only thing I can advise you in this video, always send Africa what you can manage. Don't think of sending people 3,000, like 200 euro, 300 euro. Meanwhile, you have some Rechnung still remaining open. You have some bills still open. Because at the end, you're the one who's going to have so many bills to pay. And people in Africa, they can always manage. They can always go to anywhere they can still manage. But where can you even buy food here in Europe with debts? Where will you go to the supermarket and tell someone, give me sugar, I'm going to give you the money tomorrow? No way. If you have nothing to eat, you can die here with hunger. Another important point, like I was trying to say, your own friends, they can never be there for you 100%. Even you can never be there for your friends like 100%. In Africa, if you have any issue, if you have any problem, you find even your friend coming to your house to stay for some time. But here in Africa, in Europe, people are very, very busy. No matter where you go, even if it's not in Europe, even if it's in Asia or in America, people are very busy. You might be depressed, but you have to stay alone with the depression at home because your friend has to go to work and do some things, you know. You might have an emergency, but your friend will be telling you, sorry, I'm working on this day, I cannot help you. So this is what we are going through here in Africa, like here in Europe. I don't know why I'm saying Africa when you're in Europe. So this is what is going on here. This is what is going on here. There's a day in 2019, I was supposed to go back to work also. And Aiden's father was not in Germany, he was in Kenya. So my boss told me, if you cannot come back to work, if you're gonna come back to work, you have to start at 6 a.m. in the morning, the way you used to work. Then I was telling my boss, where do you expect me to put my kid, and I'm living with the kid alone? The father is not here. Where do you want me to put my kid at this 5, 6 until 7? Who's gonna stay with my kid? Then he told me he doesn't care, but I have to go back to work. And then I had to drop, like I had to go and get a social help because I could not go back to work. So, and there's only one friend I was depending on that time, but as when I told her something, she told me like her child is sick and blah blah blah. So I imagined, what if I'm supposed to go to work and she has an emergency with the kids are sick and all those kids and plus my own kids? So I had to give up and stay at the social and get help. Another thing is the racism and discrimination. Like, it doesn't matter, even if you're brown, you're like even if you're like mixed kid, you're gonna face racism. You're not going to get out of that like smoothly. As far as you're not a white person, you're gonna face racism here in Germany. Or even if you're a white person and you cannot speak good German, you're gonna face racism here in Germany. You know, for example, like I was saying in another video, when I went to work in the hospital for the first time, as soon as you go in and you're already a qualified nurse, but people will be like, are you the new student? Are you the new practicant? And then I'm like, why can't you see a black person as a land person? You understand? For me, this is racism or discrimination. You cannot just see me and then you think I've done nothing with my life. At least ask someone, are you the new nurse? And then I tell you, no, I'm a student, or no, not just trying to see. Like I was saying also, guys, there's a time I was just coming to my night shift. And then there's this, like, these old people. They're the ones who hold on this racism so high. Like they're still racist. Let me just say that. The younger generation, they have kind of changed, but these old people, they're still racist, you know. So this old woman, she just looked at me like this. I like her, she's very nice. And then she asked me, so how does it feel living in the bush? And then I'm asking her, what do you mean living in the bush? Yeah, where you come from? You come from the bush. I told her I come from Africa, but Africa is not a bush. So she was like, yeah, but how does it feel coming from that bush? And then I just realized this is a very racist woman. I told her, that's why people were also born, you white people were also born in the bush, but the only thing you have is a white color, but you're... So in this situation whereby a patient is discriminating you, you have to be very, very professional. Either you go and tell your boss, or you handle it in a very professional way, because you know if that person goes to tell the boss you abuse them, you can also be sacked. So you have to handle a certain situation in a very professional way. So anyway, guys, to cut the long story short, here in Germany, racism is very, very high, especially from the old people. And the only thing you have to do is just sometimes you have to ignore, because the moment you get angry and abuse that person, they can go to the police and they tell the police, they start a fine against you because you abuse them. So in this Germany, if you abuse someone, it's called Beleidigung or discrimination. Then they can report to the police and you have to pay the fine. So guys, our next point is high cost of living. So as you all know, looking for a house in Africa or in Kenya, let me be specific because I come from Kenya, you find a 3-Zimmer Wohnung, like a 3-room apartment, goes for like, let's say 20,000 or 30,000 maximum, you know. Here in Germany, hey, a 3-Zimmer appointment, like where I am right now, we pay 1,200, like say it is 74 quadrat meter, but it goes for 1,200. So this is something like you have to understand, you have to know, you have to work hard so that you can pay this rent and other bills. If you don't want to work hard in Europe, let me tell you the truth, you might end up looking for this low wages work, whereby they'll be giving you maybe, let's say, maximum 1,500. By the time you pay for rent, and then by the time you buy food, by the time you want to pay bills, you remain with nothing. So if you want to stay good here in Germany, go and do your Ausbildung. You better do an Ausbildung so that you can earn enough money. Even if you're not doing Ausbildung, make sure the job that you're doing, also do a mini job. Mini job gives you like 538 euro. That is tax-free. So if you know on the weekends you have time, you can go somewhere and look for mini job so that at least you can be able to save some money with this mini job. If you're someone who always complain about paying rent, just know Germany is not for you, because when you come to look for a house here, anywhere you go, they tell you house is 1,400, 1,000, and you have a kid, you need a kid to have their own room. So there's no way you can say like in Africa, you're gonna squeeze yourself in 1 or 2 rooms and you have like 3 kids or 4 kids. But here in Europe, you must have like a big room for your child. It's not even good to, you cannot even invite anybody in a small room, you understand? So if you want something big, you have to pay for rent, and that is costing too much money too. The high cost of living here in Europe or in Maju is too high. Another challenge you are facing here in Europe or in Germany or in America or wherever they are is food. Sometimes you miss Kenyan food, but you cannot find them here. We end up buying West African food. At least they taste much better, but it's very much expensive. If you want to buy avocado, it doesn't taste like the one in Kenya. Like if you want to buy fruits, it doesn't taste like the ones in Kenya. So when you come here, you have to expect that the food that we love eating, the meat, the everything is not the same. Even if you buy here in the supermarket or in the Schlachthöf like Kichinjio, you can never find a meat that tastes like the one in Kenya. Our food in Africa, they are so sweet, but that is something when you know you're going to look for money in a different country, you have to understand that there is no other option. Because there's a day I bought maembe, I bought a mango. Hey, it looks so yummy. You know when you see a mango like this and you say, this one, it must be so tasty. Imagine cutting a mango, putting it to your mouth, start chewing, and it feels like you're eating a plastic. You know, there is no taste in that mango. It's just something, it just tastes something different. So even if it's bio, that's why nowadays when I want to buy something, I go to Turkish. This Turkish, their food is so nice. Vol is a little bit expensive, but their food is so nice. It has natural taste and a little bit expensive, but at least you feel like you're somewhere in Africa. Our last point is social isolation. I don't know if I'm the one who always feels like this, but I've even read somewhere on the Facebook, in the Kenyan group or African group, people feel so isolated. For example, if you're a black and you're working with the whites only, sometimes this is something like, I don't know if most of you have seen this, the ones who are here. But sometimes you can find that the white people, they gather themselves on the side, they talk alone, they do this alone, and you as an African sitting there, you feel like, this is not the right place for me to work, because you're just alone. Like you're a black, you're just alone on the side. The others are there, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, you know. Sometimes you have to force yourself into them, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. The social isolation here in Europe is too bad. Yeah, it's too bad. Or a white person at work will pretend to be talking to you before another person comes. They'll be talking. As soon as that person sees a white person there, the whole attention will go to the other white person, and they'll be ignoring you as if you don't exist. This is something I've seen with a lot of people. This is something I've seen even with some black student. They do complain about that thing. So that is something when you come to Europe, you have to understand about it. You have to understand there's a place you can go to work. You're the only black in the whole place. How are you gonna cope? You have to find a coping mechanism because if you don't have a coping mechanism, you're going to have stress and you're gonna leave that work. It has not been so easy for me, but right now, after 14, let's say this is going to be my 14th year in Germany in the next 2 months. I'm not used to it, so I'm good. So guys, those are our points today. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and to share. And if you have something to add in this video, kindly comment on the comment section and let people get informed. And also, see you in the next video. Don't forget to like this video, guys. Like. Aki, like, guys. Like, and turn that bell notification on so that you don't miss the next video, guys. Anyway, kwaherini. Bye-bye.